The United States Supreme Court has issued a massive emergency ruling, completely overriding a lower court to deliver a historic constitutional victory for state sovereignty. In a high-stakes showdown over congressional redistricting, the Supreme Court officially granted an emergency application for a stay, instantly wiping out the lower court's injunction and restoring the exact election map that Republicans wanted. But the real shock isn't just that the stay was granted by the Supreme Court. In the dynamic opinion, the Supreme Court took the gloves off, directly criticizing the lower court judges for outright failing to follow recent Supreme Court precedent and ignoring the fundamental presumption of legislative good faith. They also accused the lower court of interfering with an ongoing election cycle. With the map now officially restored for the upcoming elections, the state is now positioned to file their official Supreme Court writ of cert, but they already got the stay, but the goal is to permanently lock down this precedent. And this election ruling is not happening in isolation. We have now seen in multiple cases the Supreme Court upheld state laws impacting the upcoming elections. So in this video, we need to break down what happened in the Supreme Court ruling, the rebuke that was issued by the court, the state's immediate move forward in this election issue and this redistricting, and why this changes the legal fight over elections going forward. Now, before we jump into what the Supreme Court did, if you like this type of content, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications to ensure that you never miss this type of information. Now, to understand how we reached this explosive breaking point in this case, you have to look at how the lower court actually tried to test the Supreme Court's current authority. This entire battle centers on the Supreme Court's landmark recent ruling in the case Louisiana versus Calais. That case drastically reshaped how federal courts must evaluate vote dilution claims under Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. The Supreme Court made it explicitly clear that lower court judges must separate race from politics, honor traditional districting principles, and stop treating a state's partisan layout as automatic evidence of discrimination. Following that ruling, the Supreme Court vacated the previous decisions against Alabama and sent this case back down with strict orders for the lower court to apply that new Calais framework. But instead of falling in line, the lower court actually rebelled against that Supreme Court precedent. They issued a new ruling blocking Alabama's 2023 map, and they essentially forced the state there to use the special master map that was issued by the court. It was court ordered, and that had been previously used in prior election cycles and during the primaries. Alabama immediately launched an emergency appeal straight back to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court took action on that very quick. The Supreme Court granted Alabama's emergency stay, but they did not just pause that lower court order. They practically also foretold the final outcome of this case. The conservative majority explicitly stated that Alabama has shown a high likelihood of success on the merits for both of its underlying constitutional claims. When the Supreme Court drops that type of language in this type of emergency stay request in this procedural posture, they are signaling exactly how they intend to rule on potentially on the final merits of this case. The majority then in that order systematically dismantled the lower court's legal errors in their ruling. First, the Supreme Court ruled that the district court flat out refused to honor the presumption of legislative good faith. The lower court judges, they claim, had improperly treated Alabama's legal disagreement with prior court orders as proof of discriminatory intent. The majority of the Supreme Court reestablished that state legislators are constitutionally entitled to a presumption of good faith when drawing their own maps. Second, the Supreme Court pointed out that the lower court judges completely botched the Calais test. Under Calais, if challengers want to strike down a state map, their alternative map must perform just as well as the state's map across all legitimate objectives. The challengers here, according to the Supreme Court, failed to do that. They completely ignored Alabama's valid interest in preserving its historic Gulf Coast community of interest and avoiding incumbent pairings. Furthermore, the Supreme Court slammed the lower court in their ruling for violating one of the most vital principles of election law, which is the Purcell Doctrine. The Supreme Court reiterated its longstanding rule that federal judges have no business altering election procedures on the eve of an ongoing election. The district court had tried to argue that keeping the court-drawn special master map in place at this time was simply more convenient for election officials. The Supreme Court, however, completely rejected that logic, dropping a massive line for state sovereignty, and they declared that while federal courts must remain cautious about last-minute changes, sovereign states themselves are completely free to decide whether adjusting their maps is in their own best interests. Now, predictably, this emergency stay, which was granted by the Supreme Court, was opposed. There was a block of dissenters on the Supreme Court, the liberal block of justices, who opposed this ruling. Justice Sonia Sotomayor penned a lengthy, aggressive dissent, which was joined by Justice Kagan and then also Justice Jackson. And they accused the conservative majority of the court of injecting absolute chaos into the election cycle. The dissenting judges argued that by restoring Alabama's 2023 congressional map, the court is forcing election officials to reassign hundreds of thousands of voters in an incredibly short amount of time. Sotomayor went so far as to accuse Alabama of engaging in continuous gamemanship and resisting prior federal oversight, arguing that the state should not be rewarded with this type of emergency stay by the Supreme Court when the court-drawn master map had already been running smoothly since the 2024 elections, during those prior elections, and also during the 2026 primaries. But regardless of the dissenters' current frustration with that ruling, the immediate legal reality belongs entirely to the state of Alabama, because the Supreme Court has completely frozen that lower court's interference, and the state has officially been given the green light to use the map that they want. Alabama is now aggressively moving forward to implement the exact 2023 map that it wants for the upcoming congressional elections and during these upcoming midterms. And in fact, right now, state election officials are wasting no time. They are completely bypassing that lower court special master map and reestablishing the district configurations to protect, those communities, or to put in place that map that Alabama wants. Now that the map is securely back in the state's hands and implementation is underway, the case is now entering its final phase. Currently armed with this massive emergency stay, with this emergency victory that they got, Alabama's legal team is preparing to file an official writ of cert to the Supreme Court, and simply they're going to take this on the merits of the Supreme Court, and really that is to establish and put in place this precedent because they already got this emergency stay. The Supreme Court said that it will remain in place while they seek Supreme Court review, and that's what they're currently going to do, and they're going to try to win on the merits to make this established going forward. This impending merits review aligns with the broader trend across recent Supreme Court election cases where the Supreme Court is systematically defining the boundaries of federal judicial intervention by taking up cases that address both substantive map drawing standards and threshold procedural rules, such as who holds the legal standing to enforce certain federal voting statutes. The Supreme Court is moving towards a more centralized structure framework when it comes to these election litigation cases. The final resolution of these combined cases will ultimately determine how much autonomy states actually retain when administering their elections and drawing legislative districts without being subject to immediate disruption from the federal courts. Within the last month, not only has the Supreme Court protected Alabama's redistricting law, but they also allowed Arkansas's translator restrictions to also remain in place. This shows there is a growing trend in the Supreme Court to uphold these type of state election laws. So that is what has developed in these critical election law cases that have made their way to the Supreme Court. If you want to help to push this video past the algorithm, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on all the notifications to ensure that you get these videos and these type of updates when I release them. But as always, thank you so much for all of your support, and never forget this nation was built by armed scholars, and this nation will be maintained by armed scholars.